closer to home for all of you. So Standard 8 deals with our admissions and retention policies. Standard 9, student support services. Standard 10 addresses the faculty. Standards 11, 12, and 13 have to do with our curriculum. This is everything from the Gettysburg curriculum to our majors and our minors. Related educational activities would be things like internships and study abroad opportunities. And then Standard 14 is the assessment of student learning. So what Middle States wants to know is that we have established learning outcomes for all of you at the institutional level, at the department level, and at the individual course level. And Middle States wants to know that not only do we have learning outcomes stated for all of you, but that we're assessing whether or not you're actually learning what we want you to learn during your time at Gettysburg College. Okay, so those are our 14 standards. And again, in order to be accredited as an institution, we have to show our compliance with these 14 standards to Middle States. Now, Middle States sets the evaluation cycle for us. So every 10 years, we have to go through what's called a decennial evaluation. So this is the really big evaluation that we're involved in right now. Our last visit for Middle States was in the spring of 2004, and Middle States will be on campus again in the spring of this academic year, spring of 2014. And then in between these decennial reviews, we have to do a 5-year periodic review report, and annually we have to submit an institutional profile to Middle States. So they keep close tabs on us and what we're doing at Gettysburg College. Now, this process of the decennial evaluation actually started in the spring semester of 2012. And at that time, a steering committee was formed by President Riggs. And this slide just shows you the members of the steering committee. So this group includes 6 faculty members and 6 administrators. And our job in that spring of 2012 was to review the 14 standards, make sure that we all understood them, to determine the themes for our self-study, and to write research questions about what we wanted to get out of this process, specifically at Gettysburg College. I think most of you, if not all of you, have heard these 3 themes before. Okay, so the 3 themes for our self-study are intellectual climate, internationalization, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then last September of 2012, once we developed the self-study design, Middle States came to campus, our liaison came and approved the self-study design. And then all of last academic year, we were involved in a self-study process. Okay? And this self-study process included 7 working groups that you see along the bottom of the screen. And these 7 working groups are organized by standards. So some working groups have 1 standard, some working groups have multiple standards. These working groups consisted of administrators, faculty members, support staff, and students. And I know at least one of you in the room was a member of one of these working groups. And the job of these working groups was to address the various standards, to incorporate the 3 themes that I mentioned to you, to answer the research questions, and to involve the Gettysburg College community in this process. Okay, and this was actually an enormous amount of work for those of you who are aware of the process last year and knew what was going on. Over 85 people were involved in these various different working groups, and they had literally countless meetings over the course of last academic year to talk about these different standards. And there were also a number of community-wide discussion meetings held last academic year. So there were 4 faculty meetings, as you can see, that were devoted to Middle States discussions of the 3 themes. We had a town hall that some of you may have attended last November, dealt with diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we also visited you all twice last year, once in the fall to talk about intellectual climate, and once in the spring to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as internationalization. So this was truly a huge self-study of the whole institution that included the entire campus. So at the end of last academic year, each of those working groups wrote a report. And then over the summer, our job was to take the reports from the 7 different working groups and compile them into a single document. So we now have this self-study report. We're here in the fall of 2013, and we have a draft of this report written. on our self-study from last academic year. And this fall semester, we need to do exactly what we're doing tonight. We need to present this report to members of the college community to get your input, to see if we're on target or not. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Professor.
So first of all, I want to thank you for your time tonight. I also want to just tell you how impressed I am by your efficiency and your professionalism in the way you conduct your meetings. I've always been amazed by that, so I just want to commend you. Picking up where Dr. Stempley left off, the self-study report that is now available in draft form has several components. I just want to kind of quickly review them. Of course, an introduction that provides the reader with a sense of where Gettysburg College has been and some of the changes it's gone through, some of the developments, both personnel and focal points with regard to strategy over the last 10 years. So we've had a number of senior administrative changes. We had changes in the presidency, changes in the provost position and other positions. And so those things are lifted up and talked about in the introductory chapter. And then we introduced these three themes that Dr. Stempley talked about. The intellectual climate. You might be wondering, what is that? Well, it's the way we interact with one another intellectually as a complement to other forms of interaction. This notion of campus internationalization and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then we have a number of chapters that follow these introductory chapters that address a standard or groups of standards, beginning with the first standard all the way through 14. There are not 14 distinct chapters, they're combinations of standards in some cases. And then we will eventually have a kind of formal conclusion that we'll have to report. So what have we accomplished so far? Well, we've got a 128-page draft that was originally over 150 pages. So we brought it down to 128, and we're going to try to do another cut down to about 100 pages. That's what our Middle States accreditor would like to see. So we have some editing to do. But it's not just about shortening the document, it's about improving it. And so in the process of addressing these three themes, addressing the research questions that Dr. Stempley mentioned, we have successfully demonstrated that we're in compliance with those 14 elements that she spoke of. So that's the good news. We are on our way to reaccreditation. And in the process of going through this, and I think this will be of much interest to you, whether you're new to the community or you've been here for 3 years already, these are some areas of strengths that we're really proud of that we found from this process that's gone on for essentially 2 years. Our mission is clearly stated, it's highly disseminated, and widely discussed. People know what the mission of Gettysburg College is. In spite of recent economic uncertainty and some times of financial constraint that ensued from what happened 5 years ago, almost to the week, the college has been able to move forward with the implementation of its mission and the goals that support that mission. We are committed to shared governance, effective and transparent leadership and administration. And I think this body, working with the faculty and the administration, as we're doing tonight, is a symbol of that. College strives to maintain integrity through all of its communications and its processes. Additional good news. Students, faculty, and other college employees are protected by policies that are clearly defined and communicated that ensure fair and equal treatment. We, as an institution, believe that assessment is a priority. Some of you might be wondering, what is this about assessment? We seem to be fixating on that. Regional accreditors and the federal government have a very strong interest in making sure that we use information to improve our practices as we seek to strive to accomplish our mission. And to the extent that we use information and data, if you will, to make judgments to improve our practices, we'll become a better institution. Some institutions gather information and they don't use it. Some institutions don't gather a lot of information and don't use it. We're trying to do both. And we certainly are affirming the importance of that. And that's important to Middle States. Since our last decennial evaluation in 2004, the college has established what we call a culture of assessment. The way we do business, the way we think about various various aspects of the institution, I think by division, or within divisions, departments, we tend to use assessment. And it is becoming increasingly more systematic and sophisticated. Is it perfect? It's not, and I'll say where we have some improvement to do. Additionally, since our last evaluation, we have strengthened our comprehensive enrollment management program. That is the process by which we recruit new students and their families to come to consider Gettysburg College. We've done that through careful planning and regularly evaluated the idea of assessment, our student recruitment and enrollment practices, our financial aid policies, as well as our retention efforts. We're constantly looking at new data as we are even this week as new information is coming about retention. The College's Student Support Services, this is something that's important to all of you. Co-curricular offerings are aligned with and informed by the college's mission and our strategic goals. So in other words, what we do in the academic world, the curricular part of the institution, is aligned with the co-curricular residential programs. The college's student-to-faculty ratio, which is approximately 10 to 1, rounded to the nearest integer, facilitates an engaging and personalized learning experience for its students. The college provides our faculty with numerous opportunities to continue to develop professionally and allows them a great deal of autonomy in pursuing research or creative activities of their choice, as well as develops their courses with a shared sense about what the content of the courses should be in the department or program. We have clearly defined and regularly evaluated procedures surrounding the way we recruit new faculty to the college, how we hire them, how we evaluate them for retention, tenure, and promotion, and we ensure a fair and equitable process throughout this business practices. The educational offerings and the affiliated learning goals that help inform the broader aims of what we call the Gettysburg curriculum are established, and we allow you to demonstrate proficiency and rigor in a particular field of coursework through classwork as well as engaged learning outside the classroom. In other words, you can pursue a major, but we're also attending to general education at the same time. The college is committed to the practice of student learning assessment. So this is talking about that idea of using data to make judgments about how courses are taught or structured. That process takes place at the course level as well as at the institution or division. And the faculty are increasingly engaging this culture of assessment. So, that's the good news. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about what we need to work on. No institution is perfect, and yet I'm proud of what our institution has achieved over the past 10 years. However, we need to do better in the area of recruitment and retention of difference among faculty, staff, and students. We need to make improvements there. And to facilitate the retention of a increasingly diverse student body, faculty, administration, we need to create or improve the campus climate to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are conversations that we're probably all having at an individual or group level. We need to bring these out and make them more campus-wide discussions. We're doing assessment, we're assessing data for the improvement of the college, but we don't communicate that as well as we can. So how can we communicate our assessment efforts? That's something we need to work on. As the cost of a highly selective national liberal arts education at Gettysburg College continues to increase, we have to continually demonstrate the value of this educational experience that you're consuming to you, your families, and to the greater public. And that's not just incumbent on Gettysburg College, that's incumbent on all of private liberal education. I firmly believe in this kind of educational experience. It's one that I had as a young adult. Yet we, as an institution, need to continue to make progress in this area. So that's what we'll see. This is important. When we talk about the intellectual climate of the campus, we need to facilitate more intellectual connections among all of you beyond just the academic experience, beyond what classroom, a studio, a laboratory. It's those interactions you have in co-curricular activities and in your residences. So we need to continue to work on that. I believe that the 4th hour has provided some avenues to work on this, but there's more work that needs to be done. I'm sure that many of you will agree that we have some wonderful faculty-student advisor-advisee relationships. Some of you have undoubtedly have wonderful mentors and people you can come to for help, whether it's your advisor or not officially your advisor. But there are cases where that relationship is not working as well as it should. And I'm committed, along with the faculty, to improving the quality of those relationships. And this is something that I want to make sure the student senate knows how deeply committed we are to this. And I would love to come back and talk with you about this at some point in the future, if that would be helpful. Faculty engage in governance, as you do, and this is the role that you play here. The distribution of government assignments is somewhat uneven and needs to be reviewed periodically. So that's something that we need to address. We need to do a better job of documenting learning improvements, the learning improvements that you achieve through assessment. So it's communication and documentation. Some of that is kind of uneven. We need to consider the relationship between the college level learning goals, that is the goals for the Gettysburg College curriculum, and the departmental learning goals. So if you're a history major, what's the relationship between the learning goals for a history major with the greater Gettysburg curriculum goals? We need to consider the relationship between the learning goals and the minor. So if there's a minor in an area where there's also a major, what are the relationships between the learning goals and the major? So I'll pause here and just say that we have much to be proud of. I will predict that we'll be reaccredited next summer, but we might be encouraged to take some action rather quickly on some of these things that I've lifted up. That's up to middle states to decide. But we are being thoughtful about identifying areas where we can grow. And I'm sure you do this in your own lives as students and individuals, that you think about, where can I improve? Well, that's what the self-study process was aimed at doing, helping us understand who we are, what our areas of strength and our areas of weakness. We value your feedback, and we have provided a means by which you can provide feedback very easily and very efficiently through survey month. The feedback is due next Monday by midnight. So you have another 7 days if you want to take a peek at some or all of the self-study report. You can actually go to, there's a link here, and we can make this presentation available so you can share it with your colleagues. But basically clicking on this link will take you to this site, and you'll see right here, read the draft study report. Assuming that you all haven't run out and read this report prior to this meeting, you can click on that text. It will take you to a Moodle site. And the Moodle site actually allows you to access the self-study report. I'm trying to demonstrate that, but it's not working so well. So you can go to the draft self-study report, and then you can actually, below, provide feedback through the survey. And that's a Survey Monkey. You can complete that survey, click it, and it comes to us, and we'll embrace your feedback if you revise the self-study. So what happens next? After we get this feedback in early October, we'll revise again. It's the process of improving writing through revision. We will draft a report then that will be shared with the chair of our visiting peer review team. And the chair of our team has been the provost at Swarthmore College, Dr. Constance Hungerford. She will come to campus on November 3rd and 4th to visit with us, to give us feedback on our draft, to work out some arrangements regarding the peer review visit, and we'll do one more revision and try to put it to rest by the end of the calendar year before we go into the holiday break. Then next March, and this will be something that you'll be hearing about more, and it may actually, impact you, because I can imagine some of the peer reviewers may want to talk to some of you starts on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday before spring recess of 2014. So we will have the team come, they will write a report, draft report, they'll give us feedback on that, or we'll have a chance to comment on any errors of fact, then they will make a recommendation to the Mill States Commission, and we'll know where we stand next summer, hopefully by. So at this point, we'd be glad to answer any questions about the process, what any of this means, any comments you have. Yes.
On like the last slide, is at the top, something about like student learning assessment. Yeah.
That one, yeah.
I was like wondering what we discussed about that.
On the first one,
Yeah.
point. So what the idea of so you, in a class, your learning is assessed by your faculty member, your instructor through writing, examinations, quizzes, projects. Okay. What we need to do is be more systematic in documenting how at the course level and then at the department or major level, how your learning is enhanced by the pedagogical approaches taken by the faculty member. The idea is you want, as a teacher, you want to increase student learning. And by doing assessment, that is measuring in some sense, directly or indirectly, what you learn, we can enhance the way the course is taught and how the course is structured and how that course fits with other courses in a set of courses that we call a major. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
It's really trying to understand, and again, this happens, but it's not done quite as systematically as you would hope to find at this stage. Some faculty are very, very careful about this, and some are a little less careful about it. We want to just bring the bar up. Other questions? Yes.
So you're saying you're expecting increased grades from particular classes?
Increased grades?
Are you saying you expect to show a student as they're taking good classes, the grades increase?
I think ideally, and I'm a tenured member of the Gettysburg College faculty, I would hope that student learning would improve as we learn from the progress students make in their courses. So does that mean everybody is bound to earn the highest level, the highest grade? Not necessarily, but I think you'll see evidence if you look across the range of courses that are offered that some students do very well in courses. The important thing is for us to assess how well you're doing. For that assessment to inform the way the course is taught or the way the course is organized. So it may not translate into everybody getting an A, but it should translate into a deeper learning experience. Which at the end of the day, I would say is so crucial to your long-term trajectory as future professional people and citizens. Yes.
I sat on the committee that made that suggestion, and one of the things that we talked about was seeing an increased participation, like things like celebration, or students bringing in other people to relate outside things that are going on in the world with what they're learning in the classroom. So it's not just that students are going to be getting, like, we don't want everyone to have an A. Obviously there's going to be changes, but it was more of seeing students take what they're learning inside the classroom and showing it on campus, I think, in other ways.
And I think it's like making connections.
Yeah.
So it's really that learning for, to apply that. Looking around, are there any other questions? I will say it is a labor of love. A labor of love to do this is a lot of work. But if you spend some time with the self-study, and I don't presume that you will have countless hours to read 100 and whatever it is, over 100 pages. But you will learn a lot about Gettysburg College by reading. Those of you who do represent other bodies across the campus will find it interesting to see what we've learned about ourselves through this process. As students who are here now, and some of you are approaching graduation and will become alums, you'll take an interest in the future of the college as well. So again, I'm grateful on behalf behalf of my colleague for the time you shared with us. If you have feedback, we would love to hear it. If you have questions, feel welcome to address us. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I'd like to bring up Entrepreneurship Club for re-recognition. So if they're here.
She just walked out.
It was Jake, yeah, Jake. Yeah, he just walked out.
All right, well, moving on. Gettysburg College Investment Group for re-recognition.
Oh, yeah, they're not here.
Yeah.
Peace and Justice Club, are you here?
We're here.
All right.
Okay, so basically, we're here to sort of restart Peace Club, but also kind of give it a different twist. So we're renaming it Peace and Justice Club. And it's sort of going to take elements of the old Peace Club, but tie them in with like our local love and theme house that we had our sophomore year, and like the Peace and Justice Studies minor. So I guess our mission statement is Peace and Justice Club is a student organization committed to both exploring a wide range of global justice issues and focusing on what local actions can be taken to promote peace and justice in our community. So here we're sort of like trying to take the broad topic of these peace and justice issues and apply it to our local community and kind of narrow the focus so that we can focus on action more and not just discussion. So we're hoping to have different larger events like field trips to Amazing Heart Farm where we both interned over the summer, maybe pairing with like Healthy Options to do some events there. I was hoping to do like a clothing swap to help address environmental justice issues and consumerism. We still were interested in doing like the Fast for Justice that Peace Club previously did, as well as co-sponsoring events such as Tent City and like the Emily's Day of Service. And also, we're sort of hoping to break up the club into addressing different areas of justice issues. So like, for instance, like social justice or environmental justice, and break it up into sections, and then within that, look, trying to hold events and sort of like projects that focus on those issues, but in our local community. So we would have weekly meetings focusing primarily on action and getting involved. And we were hoping to have sort of like alternative forms of meeting, maybe like potluck dinners, cooking together, walking around town, just like visualizing like maybe areas of the problems that need to be addressed in our community. And we really want it to be like member driven, and so I don't have like a list of everything that I want to do right now, because I kind of want people to come to the club and bring, you know, their interests, and we can try to create events around that and address those issues.
So Lisa Fork has already agreed to be our advisor, and she has a lot of connections that she said she would help be our liaison for to get us connected with different organizations and roles and things.
How many students do you guys have interested in the club so far?
I had a table at the activities fair for Sangha, so I also set up a little like side list for Peace and Justice Club, and we had about 20 people sign up there, but we also have other people that have come up to us and said they're interested, and if we get recognition, I'm planning on reaching out to the Peace and Justice House and the minors as well.
Reinstate. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? Congrats. Jake, I saw you walk back in. You want to come up and talk, guys? Yeah. Alrighty, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jake Hughes. I'm a senior here, and I'm here to present Entrepreneurship Club. This is also a reinstatement case. I've been working on starting this club since my sophomore year. You know, we gained recognition 2 years ago, but in my inexperience, the club never really took off, and when I went abroad, I had it kind of put on hold. And so over the last 5 months, I've been working on creating a seminar series on entrepreneurship in order to really turn the club into something that will hopefully continue on after I graduate. And I took the things that I learned in my entrepreneurship class in Denmark and applied those concepts to create the seminar. And then we're also having 3 speakers come in. I've been working with Kathy Williams to put together the series since the spring. And so far we have 33 people interested, and we've done 2 seminars going over basic ideas from an undeveloped idea and building it into a developed idea, which then hopefully by the end of the semester we can have a group of people that are educated enough in order to move on to a pitch competition or some more concrete events in the school. So that's what I have.
How many people have you had at each seminar?
So we've had 6 people show up to the meeting. So it's been slow, but I think we're gonna keep building as it goes.
I know you said you have like 30 people members. Do you have like an exact number or just like scattered because it's so big?
Right now it's scattered. We have a few people that are interested in building the board as it develops, and hopefully we'll have that set in stone by the end of the semester.
Is there a motion or any more questions? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? You're good.
That's it. No.
So now we have 2 budget requests, and I'd like to bring up International Affairs Association.
Hi, I'm Brendan McMahon. I'm the Vice President of the International Affairs Association, and I'm here to request an expansion on our original budget for the Georgetown Molly UN conference that we'll be attending this fall semester. Typically in the past, we've received about 10 to 15 applications for Molly UN conferences each semester, but in this semester alone, we received about 24 applications, which is double what we've seen in all the years past since I've joined the International Affairs Association, and our club has doubled in size since last year. So we just find this very promising. So we want to send as many students to this conference as possible. So that's why we're requesting the additional funds to send these extra students.
Could you please tell the Senate how much money you're requesting?
We are requesting $1,616.
And do you have a breakdown of that?
Okay.
You can go through it, but I'll bring it up there.
Thank you.
What are we being recommending?
We recommended the full 1616. We thought it was a great opportunity for them to continue to expand it.
The ability to apply for this was open and available to all students,
Yes.
right?
We posted it in the digest. We made this public announcement for all students on campus are eligible. You don't have to have prior Model UN experience or any experience with international affairs whatsoever. It's open to all students, and we received multiple students from the digest itself who just applied for seeing it posted.
We'll go Tony, Mariah, John.
So you, after you received all the applications, that's when you looked for additional funding?
Yes. Okay. Because we were originally basing our budget after the projections from years weren't expecting more applications, to be honest with you.
And the ones that have been allocated to them for this semester.
A significant amount has already been allocated to them. I can give the exact numbers, but
In the meantime, John?
Wait, so this is at Georgetown, right?
yes.
So couldn't you save $800 by just getting another van that takes you back for the night and then going back? It's only 55 minutes away. Not to sound like a
Well, the problem is the committees themselves start very early in the morning, so it'd just be unfeasible for us to drive back and forth between, because also the conferences host social events where we get to intermingle with the other delegates who are at these conferences, so it's just a great opportunity to network with different students from across the country. And these are the best delegates from schools like Harvard, Yale, U Chicago, just even some international students attend these conferences as well.
Mariah, to answer your question, IA has been allocated $10,224, which is a significant amount.
And just to clarify, that's for the entire year, so that's for every Model UN conference that we will be attending between the fall and spring semester. That's not just for like the Georgetown conference.
Okay, we're gonna go Steph, Catherine, Jim, Christiana. Okay.
Does Senate not fund transportation?
Senate only funds transportation if you guys have a certified van driver. Do you have a student driver?
Yes, we do have one student driver. The problem is with the number of applicants that we have, it's going to be, it will require another van as well, and that's why we're requesting a driver to help transport, which was done last year for Georgetown as well.
Okay. Tony? Jim?
I just had a quick comment. I was actually on DMC last year, and I remember doing Model UN. And if I recall, it's typically a relatively expensive venture, but I think we determined last year that it was like worthwhile. And I don't know, this would be something that I think I would encourage us to do because it really does represent our school well to have these guys here, like you said, with those great schools. So those are just my thoughts on it.
Great, Christiana?
Do the students who go pay anything?
The only thing that they're required to pay for is for food and any other items that they might want to buy while there, but everything's covered, hotels and all of that.
Are there any other questions? Motion to allow the full amount. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. Congrats.
Thank you.
So I'd like to bring up College Republicans for a budget request.
Hi guys, my name's Harry. I'm the president of the College Republicans. We are requesting an additional $575 so that we can do a t-shirt fundraiser. The purpose of us doing this fundraiser is we also take a trip, but in the spring. We go to CPAC every year, and in past years, especially with the new Senate bylaws, we've always run into trouble with getting funding for that. Again, it's another thing where most other schools pay for their students like up to $10,000 for multiple students to go to the higher level stuff. We usually just purchase the rooms for the students to stay in. So we thought to be proactive about this and do a t-shirt fundraiser. We are going to be buying 100 t-shirts for $6.75 each. That's all taxes and stuff included and pickup fee. And then we're going to sell them at $15 each. At 39 t-shirts, the Senate will be reimbursed with all money that they've given us. And then after that, putting it into our account with the Senate, that we will then be using it in the spring. We also can pretty much guarantee that we're going to sell at least 39. We have over a 25-member club right now. It's very active, and everybody's agreed to buy at least one t-shirt. A couple people have agreed to buy 2, and we've also gone outside of the club to find people to buy other shirts.
Right.
So if the club members have agreed about t-shirts, why don't they just pay for it?
Because we still aren't at 39, and we don't have enough money to buy that many. So we're buying 100 to use it for the profits. If we just bought it as a club, which we could do, we wouldn't be making any money.
Tiana?
We recommended to allocate the full amount. We were impressed by their initiative, both by the fact that they promised to pay us back completely and by the fact that they're trying to fund their own events, which we thought was very impressive. If they don't manage to do that, that reflects appropriately, but we thought it was worth the try.
Steph? those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to do committee announcements now. Academic Affairs. DMC. Qualcomm.
Like I said, if you would like to be a part of the election policy changes, we can talk to you really briefly after the meeting.
Hi.
Okay, so emails go out this week for our meeting, next week, and we will have our meeting just for the group speak to discuss things before at 6:30 in.
Great. Special events and programming.
Alright, so my committee still really needs help tomorrow. It's the gazebo outreach from 10 to 12, and everyone in my committee unfortunately has passed from 10 to 11. So if anyone's available from 10 to 11 to stand at the gazebo, eat some cereal cookies, some coffee, and just answer any questions about Senate, that'd be really helpful. I'll be sitting right here at the meeting. If you're available, please come and talk to me. We literally don't have one person, so we really need the help from Senate.
Can we have a quick show of hands what senators don't have class tomorrow from 10 to 11? Free on the spot. Okay. That don't have class.
We switch the times up.
We'll figure it out, guys. I mean, I know Tony and I will be there, but more the better. PR.
Your report.
Student safety and regulations.
Got our report in from DPS for the weekend. We had 7 underage consumptions, 1 drug paraphernalia, 1 ethnic intimidation, 1 disorderly conduct and urination, 1 assault, 2 police citations, 1 of which was confirmed as a transport, and the other one had not been confirmed to go as a transport. Also, if my committee can see me after this week, set up a time for this week.
Great. And sustainability. Sure. Seth. Are there any club announcements?
Shots in the Dark is having an alumni show this Saturday from 7 to 8 in the Mara Auditorium.
Great. Anyone else?
Latin American Student Association, LASA, is having their Hispanic Heritage Week from September 30th to October 4th. There are flyers posted to show the different events.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship Club will be having a seminar on agile business development next Wednesday, October 2nd at 8:15 in Brienbach 303.
Tiana.
Hi, I know I couldn't report me, but I sent out an email earlier this week about having decided the second member of the peace committee. We're still looking for one because everyone on the committee has time classes, so it's really getting all of us.
Great. If all senators could also stay after this meeting, that'd be great. Anyone else? Is there a motion? Motion to enter closed session. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?